Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let us continue over here. And today we are going to learn how we can create a password text field over here. And in the previous lesson we learned about how we can add a email field over here. So we'll be doing the same thing on the SwiftUI as well as on the Compose. So let us get started with it. And first of all, what I will do is I'll just go and create a new text controller or the text editing controller, and this will be for the password. And then let's go down over here, and what I'll do is I'll just wrap this one, the column, with the padding, so we'll have some bit padding over there, so it's look better. And now next thing is that what I will do is I'll just copy this whole thing from here so I don't have to rewrite it again, and let's paste it below over here. And this will be of the our new password controller, and then the type will be of the password. So is there a password? Yeah, it should have a password, so visible password. And then label will be of the password, and then please input your password. And the next thing that we have to do over here is the obscure the text, and then you can just type in the true. This one should be. And also you can also set the obscure the character. So if you want a different character over here, like asterisk or the dash or something that you would prefer, so by default it will be that. So if you don't want, then you can just remove this one. So let's just remove it and just keep it as a default one. And other than that, I think it should be fine. We are just logging that, and just try to rebuild and you will get a password over here. And now if you try to type something, you get that particular password look over there. And here we can add a const of the size box, I guess, and then we'll set the height over here. Let's keep just a 8 over here. I guess that should be fine. And just try to rebuild it, and we get that one. Okay, that should be fine. So if you want some more spacing, you can just go and add it. So I guess that's all over here. We just created a new text field that will be for the type of the password, and then we also added a new text editing controller over here. So what we will do now is next is we will have to add this particular text field for our Compose as well as the SwiftUI. So let us open up our SwiftUI project over here. So here in the previous lesson we have already created one email field. So next is we need to add our password field over here. So first of all, let's go and create a new state, because we will require a state over here, and that will be of a var, because it should be of an immutable, and password. And let's keep it as a default one, as an empty string over there. And then what we'll do over here is let's go down over here and create a secure text field, and that should be fine. And over here we will add the title and the text binding. So let me arrange this one properly. So here on the title, let's keep this one as a password over here. And in the text binding, what we need to define is our binding. So the binding is of our state, so it should be of the $sign and the password. So once we have that, what we can do is, I guess we can just copy all of this particular modifier over here and just paste it. And here we can just put in the password. So I guess there is no password. So let me just put in for the default, or let's say something. Is there any other? Let's put in the default one. So I guess that should be fine. And otherwise you can just remove it. So the padding, I guess that should be of the 16, and the color, and let's keep the same as our email field over here. And let's try to see over here. You can see that we got now the email field, and also we have the password field. And if you try to put in some password, you can see it got a nice looking password over there. So if you want to run it over here, you can just go and run it. For that one, what we have to do is we need to go to the our demo app over here, and instead of the image view, we have to load our login view over here. So let's load the login view, and let's try to run this in our stimulator over here. And once you run the application, you can just type in over here your password, and here you can type in your email, right? So that's great. So this is what we will do over here, and the next step is we need to do the same thing on our compose. So let me open up my Android project. So hold on. And in our Android Studio Compose project, we have a login function which is of a composable. And here in the previously we have added one outline text field for our email. So what I will do is I'll just copy this particular state because we will need a state over there. And let me create a two state, one each for the password. We will require this one, and that should be of a type of the string, and I guess that should be fine. Mutable step up, and this one will be of the password, and this will be of a password, and this will be of a type of the boolean. So boolean, and the value will be default one as the false. So we don't want to show a password at the default state. So once we have this two state over here inside our column, what we can do is we can add, or we can just copy this particular whole outline text view over here, and I'll just paste it below over here. And then I can also add a spacer over here and add the modifier dot the, I think I can add the modifier of the width. I need a height over here, and I'll just keep something like a 16 dot the dp over here. So that will give a space between the two text field over there. And over here this will be of the password over here, and here it will be type will be of the password, and then here will be of the type of the password too. So once we got that this particular text field over here, and in the column what we can do is we can also add some of the modifier over here. So by default you can see it has a modifier, vertical and the horizontal alignment. So let me grab that alignment over here, because we can arrange the alignment over here, and let's do it on the center horizontally. That should make it center. And also the modifier, I guess I can add the modifier over here, and the modifier we will just set it at the fill max width. I guess not the fill max width, but the fill the max size, so that way it will expand to the whole available area. So that should be good. And the next step is, if I go down over here, what I need to do over here is I need to check for this particular text or the password to show something like if it is this particular value is so password, that we will have to show that particular password without the the dot or the sign that we actually show, right? So the password by default should not show that whatever we are typing, and something like over here, like it should show something like this when we are typing on the password. But by default, if you run this particular project on your device over here, you should see that it will show your password. So we need to change something over here. So let me just run the application and show you how it look like by default. And here you can see that we can type in the email and then we have the password over here, but the password is something looking like we are not securing that particular password, right? So we should secure that particular password. So what we need to do is over here is I'll have to add one more modifier, which is of a visual transformation. and this we need to check for the condition. So if the show password dot the value each of the true, so if it is a value, then what we can do is we will just go and say a visual transformation dot none. So if it is a true, then we will secure that particular value, but if it is false, then we'll go and say the password visual transformation. I guess this is the one, so I'll just have to construct it. So here you can see that we say that if it each value of true, then we are going to secure that particular value, but once it is a false, we are going to say make it as a password visual transformation. So let's try to run this application and let's see how it look like on our device again over here. And let's try to type something over here now, and now you can see that we got that particular secure password value over here. So that's all for this lesson, and in this lesson we learn about creating our password value or the password text field over here in the Compose SwiftUI, as well as on our Flutter project, right? So that's all for this lesson, and we'll meet up in the next lecture. Till then, have a great day.